And in Seoul's National Assembly, for the first time since the Sewol-ho ferry accident, members of the government found themselves in the hot seat facing tough questions from lawmakers about the initial crisis response.
The grilling came from both sides of the political aisle. Our Choi You-sun has more.
Lawmakers from both the ruling and opposition camps lobbed criticism at officials during a government report, saying their mismanagement of the accident led to its disastrous outcome. Jin Sun-mee of the main opposition New Politics Alliance for Democracy revealed details of a phone conversation between emergency operators and the Coast Guard in the early moments of the crisis. In it, the head of the emergency operator repeatedly asked the Coast Guard to bring the rescue to an area where high-level officials were standing by instead of an island closer to the accident site. The lawmakers said the conversation conflicted with what the Coast Guard had said about rescuing all the passengers being its top priority. Close to tears, Jin said formalities came before the safety of the 400-plus passengers inside the capsizing ship. In response to the accusations, the National Emergency Management Agency, in a written statement, said the request to send survivors elsewhere was made to speed up the medical treatment. Influential figures within the ruling Saenuri Party were also highly critical of the government. Accusing the government of being corrupt and lax, lawmaker Lee Jae-oh asked why it took officials an hour to first report the accident to the president. Lawmakers Ho Chung-won said Security Minister Kang Byung-gyu lacks crisis management abilities and should step down immediately. Seo added he would introduce a bill this week that calls for a probe into the causes of the ferry disaster, compensation for the victims and their families, punishment of those found responsible, and a reform plan to bolster national emergency response. Choi You-sun, Arirang News.